Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Frequency Intel. And for those of you who are new here, I am Kimberly, and I tap into the collective consciousness each week and connect into the beneficial frequencies that are here and available for us to work with and help us move into these changes that are taking place on our world. And I connect into my teams of light and to the councils, angels, masters, to the stars, to the planets. And I ask for guidance for us to walk through this monumental time that we're in and that we're gifted to be here on this planet for. And so I'm going to dive right into this week's Frequency Intel, and I invite you to just grab a cup of tea and to settle in and to just absorb and open and allow for whatever wisdom that is transmitted here to come into your awareness and land in your being, and to allow it to unlock keys of wisdom to your own codes, unlocking your dormant DNA, whatever is available for you in this now moment, so that you are more empowered to access your own knowledge, your own wisdom, and your own codes of awareness. We talked about this, the guides talked about this in the last Frequency Intel, so if you haven't seen the previous Frequency Intel, I highly encourage you to check that out. It's on my YouTube channel, it's on all of my platforms. So I want to dive straight into what is arising and available for us this week. And whenever you're hearing this Frequency Intel, this material is relevant to you. So it's not imprinted with a code that is only available in this week, because there is no time and there is no space. And whenever you're hearing this material, it's relevant. It has some code of wisdom to help you unlock your own knowing. So this week, what I've tapped into is the Innerstellar Council, the beings that I work with, that support me and encourage me and guide me along my path, are very highly active right now, and they wanted to share and convey that everyone's team of light, your entourage of light, whomever they be, are highly active right now, and they are very close to you. So if this is new information or awareness to you, if you're not really well versed in tapping into your council, into your team of light, into the interstellar councils that are here and love us and support us, to the angels, archangels, ascended masters, all of the beings that are available are hyper focused on the planet of Earth right now, and they are beaming love and encouragement and wisdom onto this planet to help all of us navigate these really expansive and challenging times that we're in. So the theme that really came through as an awareness, and it was hard for me to kind of grasp this theme this week, because it was so simple, and my mind wanted to gloss over it and say, oh, that's not important, that's not relevant, but it's highly relevant. And that theme is a return to innocence. We are returning to our innocence. We are returning to our natural state. And this is so beautiful, because in the alchemical laboratory, this is known as virgin's milk. And the substance of virgin's milk, one of the alchemical properties that we have available to create through, is a little hard to grasp. How could a virgin have milk to give, right? And so it's a mystery that we can tap into, and that mystery is our innocence, our innocent wonder, our curiosity, our awe, awe, our reverence, the ways that we navigate the world, and we give ourselves permission to not need to know. So the shadow side of Virgin's Milk, or lac virgins, is covering up that we don't know, right? When we lie, or we pretend that we do know something. This is the shadow side of innocence. This is not wanting to be seen as the beginner. But the state of being the beginner is the most powerful state that we can be in right now, because nothing has been created yet. And so if we stay in the shadow side of this archetypal energy, then we deny ourselves access to the fields of awareness and the fields of potential that are here on the planet now for us to tap into and to create in new and novel ways, to create new and novel platforms, new and novel governmental organizations, new and novel ways of exchange beyond the bounds of the system of money that we have in place right now, new and novel ways of health and well-being and nurturance and education. So it's really important that we give ourselves permission to tap into this space of innocence, this space of wonder and curiosity and wholesomeness. Our wholesomeness gives us permission to say, this is who I am. I don't know everything, and I'm willing to be curious and find out. And can you tell the frequency has already arisen in this frequency intel? The frequency that I'm channeling has moved into this expansive, beautiful, joyful, happy, curious place. And that is the frequency giving us permission to not know and to be curious and to connect into our teams of light. And so if you're just starting out and accessing these new fields of awareness, it is very simple to get quiet, turn on your imagination, turn on that innocent play and wonder inside. Turn on your transpersonal abilities, your ability to see, hear, feel, and know in the invisible world. Get still. You can do that just simply through paying attention to your breath. And then call to your team of light, to your guides, to your spirit tutors, to your technicians, to your loved ones in the invisible world on the other side, in the in-between lives place, and ask them to start giving you information, guidance, awareness that is relevant to you, that is unmistakable. So it's super easy to start out with just asking for them to give you a sign. And a sign can be anything from a bumper sticker that confirms what you were just thinking about to angel numbers. Those are repeating numbers like 1111, 1212, 333. And there's a plethora of information on the web about angel numbers and signs from your teams of light, so I'm not going to go into that too much. But then the key to connecting with your team of light and to starting to have a two-way dialogue with them is to believe that whatever you're receiving is a message, and to trust it. So belief and trust are the access point, raising your vibration into that innocent wonder, and then tapping in, asking for guidance, asking for wisdom, and then believing the wisdom, the messages, the guidance that you receive. And that amplifies the field and gives your team of light, your guides, permission to come in and give you more information. So the frequency that is here to help us with all of this, with connecting into your own guides, to asking and inviting them in, invite them into your auric field and see what they feel like. that's another way to connect with them, is to invite them in, to give them permission, because we have free will choice and we need to give our guides permission to guide us. So I do say every morning, I connect with my team of light and I say, I give you permission to be in my auric field. I even invite you all the way into my heart, into that beautiful sacred temple, my Holy of Holies, and I give you permission to guide me, to give me awareness, to steer me into the path of my highest calling and into the frequency that is available to me, that is the highest frequency on the planet. And so those are just ways to connect into your team of light and start to receive your own guidance and your own wisdom. So the frequency that's here on the planet is the frequency of cadence. So as many of you know, if you've been tapping into the frequency intel for a while now, that I am a lover of language. And I love language because the spoken word, the frequency of our vibration of our sound that we create through spoken word, is our most powerful tool of creation. And so we can tap into this power tool by being very conscious of what we say. It has impact in the creation of our external reality. So being super mindful of what we're saying. Are we talking about what's missing, what we lack, what we want, what we don't think we can have or create or manifest? Or are we using positive affirmative language to tap into the fields of potential and create from there? I am valuable. I am worthy. I am a powerful, magnificent, magnetic manifester. That kind of language connects into the cycles of creation. It connects into the potentials of the fifth dimensional frequency bandwidths of creation that help us manifest into our world an experience that we want to be having. So this frequency of cadence is such a beautiful, beautiful frequency. It is so powerful and profound. And when I heard this frequency, I connected into it and I felt into it. And then I felt a sense of needing to understand the etymology of the word cadence here on our planet. Because when I felt into it, I felt into this kind of beautiful water element of rhythm and power and creation and the potential of a tsunami of love and the potential of a stream, a trickling stream to calm the nervous system. I felt into the frequency of cadence and I received all of this information, all of these details of awareness. And I wanted to understand the etymology of the word here on the planet because our use of a particular phrase or a particular word is coded with the collective consciousness of the planet. And so when I looked up the etymology of cadence, I saw that the origins of it mean to fall. And then I started connecting into the Innerstellar Council and asking them, okay, share with me how cadence is a beneficial frequency for us to tap into at this time. And what I was shown was this beautiful sense of falling apart. And then I was shown another layer of information on top of that. That was a falling apart and a parting of the veils of forgetting that we agreed to, that we've been in agreement with on this planet for 4,000 years. So a while ago, the council told me that we were healing 4,000 years of trauma. One day when I was just in this state of deep, just a well of grief was coming through me and I couldn't understand why, because everything in my outer reality was pretty fine, pretty okay. And I was feeling this and I asked, what is this? And they told me that we are healing 4,000 years of trauma on our world, on our planet. And what I was tapping into, because I'm a collective channel, I was tapping into the collective consciousness of trauma and the grief of the planet, the grief of all of the planet, all of life on the planet. And it was staggering to me. And so tapping into that this morning, when they showed me that cadence, this falling apart, this falling to fall, is what we're being invited into now. And we're being phenomenally supported to step into. It's challenging work. It's not super easy work because it challenges the ego. It challenges the ego's perception of needing to understand and to keep everything the same. It challenges the ego because the ego thinks that you want it to die, but we actually don't want our egos to die. We need our egos to be here on the planet, to be human. What we want is to partner with our egos. We want our egos to be our best friend that supports us in appropriate ways. But we want to step into our super conscious self, our true nature of knowing who we truly are. That is the falling apart. It's letting fall away the veils of forgetting that we've been in agreement with on this planet and saying, no more, no more. I am no longer willing to forget who I am and to live in the old bandwidths of creation and information that are created from a dualistic paradigm that makes me think that I am small, that I am insignificant, that I am weak, that I am fragile, that I am all of these things that make us believe that we don't have the power to change our lives, that we don't have the power or that we don't have the courage to see beyond the veil. I want to say that again. We have believed that we don't have the courage to see beyond the veil, to allow the known to collapse, to fall away, and for us to see with new eyes, for us to see with a new heart, for us to see with new emotions, for us to see through a new mind, through the mind of totality, through the God source, God self mind. And we actually do have the courage. We're being called to this. And if you're here listening to this frequency intel, you are a light warrior. You are a way shower. You do have the courage to step into new awarenesses, new realities, new potentials, and to begin to anchor knowing who you truly are. I know who I am in truth. I know how powerful I am. And I am willing to change in order to grow and expand and to share my light with the world. So that beautiful frequency of cadence, we can think of it as rhythm or flow or modulation. These are also some of the other meanings that came through when I looked up the definition of cadence. So syncopation, and we can also tap into the frequency of syncopation and syncopate our frequency, our music, our holographic field into the connection, it's a rotating and connecting into unification with the all that is, with the mystery of life, with God, with source, with creator, with our teams of light. So our teams of light are a part of us. We are a part of them. And so one of the things that I want to invite us into practicing to help us move with this frequency of cadence, with this falling apart, with these parting of the veils. I keep wanting to energetically move the veils of forgetting off of me and allow them to dissolve so that I can see more and more of who I truly am. And so when we do this, the practice that I want to invite us into is getting still and looking into our field and giving ourselves permission to begin to move those veils of forgetting. Just through our intention alone is powerful enough. My intention is to release the veils of forgetting that have me confused, that have me covered over, that have me in a state of disremembering my magnificence, my beauty, my strength, my abundance, all of the ways that we thrive here on this planet, to remove those veils of forgetting layer by layer in a way that feels natural, that feels safe, that feels supported. And this is why we call in our team of light, so that they can surround us while we do this really powerful work of removing the veils of forgetting and releasing the codes of trauma out of our holographic field, out of our energy bodies, out of our emotional bodies, out of our minds, and out of our nervous systems. So those are two things that I want to invite us into. And once we feel clear, once we feel that bright, crisp, effervescent energy in our awareness, and we can tap into that frequency of gratitude and love, we can then allow a greater understanding and awareness of who we are to come into our awareness. And this is unlocking the dormant DNA, the codes of awareness. We have 144 strands of DNA. We don't just have 2 strands of DNA. So we can unlock the codes of awareness and give ourselves access to more of our divinity, more of our true nature, and allow ourselves to sit in those frequencies and to allow them to come into our awareness and transmute and transform any belief systems or structures out of our awareness that are tied to the old paradigm. Just giving ourselves permission to have a breath and to feel that support, love, and encouragement that is here with our teams of light for us on this planet at this time. And so when we move into this syncopation, we're syncopating with the rhythms of the planet. We're syncopating with the rhythms of all of life. And as we clear our fields of the veils of forgetting and the trauma from the past 4,000 years, then we can begin to allow ourselves, as we're in that space, and utilizing the frequency of syncopation, which means to come together, to syncopate, to resonate and entrain. This is another language that I use for syncopation. I love that they're expanding my galactic vocabulary, my frequency vocabulary, so we can tap into the frequency of syncopation. And then the practice that I'm inviting us all into is to allow the borders of our physicality to begin to dissolve and melt away, so that we can see, feel, understand, and know that we are actually boundless, borderless, timeless, ceaseless creation, that we are a part of totality. And this is a huge mind bender. I've been working on allowing the boundaries and borders of myself to dissolve for quite some time. And it's very challenging for the mind. The mind wants to stay hooked to what it understands us as physical beings. And so if you decide to try this practice, please be patient with yourselves. Please, please be gentle with yourselves. It is very challenging for the mind to let go enough for us to dissolve the boundaries of our physical body and see the truth of who we are. And so I've had glimpses of this, little moments and some very beautiful mystical experiences where I've actually been given the gift of seeing myself as boundless, as bodiless, as timeless while I'm still in the body, and it is phenomenal. So I highly encourage all of you to check into, see, is this something that I want to invite into my reality at this time? Do I feel ready for this? Do I feel stable enough for this? And one of the ways that I want to offer that helps me when I am in this practice of moving into the fifth dimensional awareness of who I truly am is to ground my energy deep into the earth before I do this practice. So my being, the totality of who I am feels stabilized to the earth grid, because we are having a human experience now, and we need to honor that we are human, because I'm not inviting going out of the body, of disassociating. That is a very different frequency and different experience than what I am sharing here with you now. So this is not about transcending the body. This is about being in the body and moving into the conscious awareness that I am more than this body. Yes, I am having this experience in this beautiful body that gives me access to all of the things, all of the beauties of life, all of the joys, all of the sorrows, the experience of being human, and to understand that that is not all of who I am. So I want to make that really crystal clear that I'm not talking about ascending beyond the body. I'm talking about the unification of my human self and my spirit as one identification. And that is the law of one. This is the raw material, RA. If you haven't looked up Ra and the law of one, I highly encourage you. This is part of the Hermetic wisdom from ancient Egypt, from the seeding of this planet. And Sirius, the planet, the star Sirius, is highly encouraging all of us to glean this wisdom, to look at this codex of information and to let it permeate and come into the groundedness of our being, and allow this expansion of consciousness, this moving into a higher state of conscious awareness of the reality of totality into our awareness. And something that is hyper important in this, that Sirius is wanting to share with all of us, is to break down the code of information that we have been taught to believe is true, is that, that the galaxy rotates around our sun. Well, that's not actually true. What is actually true is that our sun and all of the planets in our star system rotate around Sirius, the star Sirius A, and its satellite planet Sirius B. So I encourage you, if this is new information, to dive into this awareness. And one of the ways that you can do that is to get still, connect into your team of light, welcome them into your reality, and ask them to give you awareness, information, and wisdom that will help you on your journey to understand your origins. And you may have origins in Sirius. You may have star origins that are part of your DNA. Most of us on the planet have some DNA from the Sirian councils, from the Sirian beings, from the ETs. We would call them extraterrestrials because they're not part of the earth, but they did seed the earth. So that information, Sirius one is like the frequency of Sirius is such a high frequency. It's hard for me not to just burst out into a hilarity when I channel their frequency, their information. So there is a mantra meditation that I want to share with all of you. And this mantra is to help us with this transition that I'm inviting all of us into right now, that we're in, and that we can choose to move through consciously and with divine wisdom supporting us. So I'm going to share this mantra meditation with all of us. And if you feel available to close your eyes and turn off the external world, the external reality, to settle back into your body, to allow the surface beneath you and the knowledge that that surface is connected to the earth to begin to come up and surround you and support you, and to recognize that in this moment it is safe to relax your physical body and to let go, to relax your mind and let go. To allow this beautiful energy of connection, of collaboration, of co-creation to surround you, and to call in your team of light who love you unconditionally, who are of the light, who are of 100% pure love, to come in and surround you and lift you into the frequency, the highest bandwidth of information that's available to you in this moment, to open your cells, your stem cells, your mitochondria, your DNA, your RNA, your atoms and particles, subatomic particles, to allow for the resonance and entrainment with this mantra to come in and support you at this time. And we'll begin with the mantra. I am here to be a loving presence and to express life. There is a silence over the landscape, my landscape. An ever-present voice inside reminds me all is well. I have cultivated awareness and engaged consent to let it be. No struggle is required of being human. Love is calling. Are you going to let love in? Grace be upon you, my love. Just allowing this mantra, this meditation, to open the portals of remembering beyond the veils of forgetting. And remember who you truly are. Your own magnificence and your own loving presence, expressing life. And you're welcome to stay in that beautiful meditation or to come back into present moment awareness and listen to the last little bits of information, of intel, of intelligence, of awareness to come in. And I love that the beings, the beautiful Innerstellar Council, my team of light, gave me the title for these of the frequency intel, because this is information and awareness that has been kept from us, that is here to help us understand who we truly are and to take back our innocent right to be creative, to be powerful, to be phenomenal, to know our brilliance, and to claim our brilliance and share it with the world. And so I want to encourage you, if this mantra meditation resonates with you, to transcribe it and then to voice record it for yourself so that you are hearing your own frequency, sharing this mantra meditation, this activation of your dormant DNA and your codes of remembering. You can feel this virgin's milk moving through your spine from your pineal gland and anointing your physical presence and your energetic presence back into its innocence, back into your wholeness, back into your wholesomeness, and back into truth. So that is everything that wants to be shared for this frequency intel. Please, if you are not a subscriber, subscribe, like, share this material with all of your beloveds, with your tribe, with your team, with your family, with the beings in your life who are also awakening, because there are so many people having spiritual awakenings right now that need awareness, that need guidance, that need support, remembering. That is what we're here doing at this time. We are remembering. We are coming back together into our wholeness. We are bringing our memory of our true identity back into the forefront of our reality so that we can live from that awareness. So I love you all. I will be back next week with another frequency intel. Happy holy days to all of you in whatever way you celebrate. If you're celebrating this closing of the year, if you're celebrating Christ, the light of consciousness, one of the most magnificent beings, who's probably on your team of light. He's on most people's team of light, this avatar reference, and welcoming in his beloved Mary Magdalene. So the unified consciousness of the divine union, Magdalene and Yeshua. If you're tapping into that and elevating and expanding your intimate relationships, that is the frequency to tap into. And he's wanting to remind us all that he is available and is ever present and is always here to support, encourage, and align us to the truth. Thank you. Thank you so much for sticking with me and staying until the end. I so appreciate all of your contributions to this frequency intel, and I look forward to the last frequency intel of the year next Sunday. So, mwah. I'm sending you a beautiful, generous, loving, and an abundant hug. and the codes of awareness that you are love. All right, much love.